I met Jon Young in 2008, and he was a great nature connection mentor. He's also an anthropologist. Jon studied how Indigenous people around the world cultivate that deep relationship with nature, beginning basically at birth. And his work really profoundly influenced me. I would say really changed my life. Even though I had always loved nature, he brought a greater depth. It was really my lifelong love of nature that led me into holistic health. And for the past 30 years, I've worked primarily with women, and I have a special focus on perimenopausal and postmenopausal women. Through that work, I've really seen how fear of aging, stress, our modern lives, and disconnection from the natural world can really harm our health. Also seen how having a meaningful relationship with nature really supports the nervous system. Plus, it's a really fun way to support the nervous system. And nature also improves resilience and helps us feel more grounded and like electrically alive. Three lessons that have stayed with me. First, that deep nature connection helps us come alive. It supports mental health, emotional health, physical well being. There's lots of modalities that are helpful, but there's something about nature that is just so incredible. Secondly, humans naturally amplify one another's experiences. We have mirror neurons, so we read each other. And the thing is, when we share nature together, we often experience it more deeply ourselves. I want to share a story about this. One day I was in a week-long program with Jon, and I was walking with a small group of 8 people on a quiet fire road deep in the forest, and we heard a beautiful sound. It was just this haunting song of a hermit thrush. It was so clear and so eerie and mysterious sounding that it really caught our interest. And I know in most situations when I'm out in nature with people, once the bird is identified, people move on. But this group was really different. And instead of moving on, we sat down in the dirt and we listened for 45 minutes. No one wanted to leave. That song was so entrancing, and we just let ourselves be just drawn in and listen closely. It wasn't simply information about the bird that we wanted. We were seeking that close relationship, that close feeling that comes from deeply paying attention to another living being. We wanted relationship. Eventually, that bird moved away, the song faded, and only then did we get up and continue our walk. And I'll never forget that experience. I can still hear that bird because how acutely we paid attention. But it revealed how nourishing it could be when we stop treating nature as scenery. We begin relating to it with presence and attention and appreciation, and also how I don't know if I was by myself, if I would have stayed 45 minutes either. I might have, but having the group just plunk itself down and listen, it helped me hold my focus too. And then the third lesson I learned is that nature connection deepened my appreciation for every stage of a human life. In modern society, we're divided up by our ages. In culture, we like one age knocks the other age and all that kind of stuff. But in nature, nothing is considered less valuable because it's young or it's mature or it's aging or it's near the end of life. So as I spent more time observing the natural world, I found myself really appreciating the gifts. And even though every stage of life has its own unique challenges, but it also has incredible gifts. As we get older, we've been on the planet a little longer, that gift of wisdom really comes forward. And that perspective really softens the fear of aging.